What about my love? Wasn't it enough? Just let me know.
All right, our B grade, our other B grade is going to be for the Lions. Surprise, surprise. I think a lot of people thought that like they were going to be number one. But look, with all that being said, man, Tyleik Williams was not a bad pick. It just wasn't the right pick for what they needed right there. That's it. Wasn't bad. Fills in a need that obviously they needed somebody to come in and be that number one type guy, right? Tate Ratledge, we already know how talented he is, but do you really think Tate was worth the second round though?
I did personally.
Okay.
I had him as one of my top guards.
Okay. Well,
but again, I think that doesn't line up with the consensus. But for me personally, I liked the pick, but I also understand that that's probably not a popular opinion.
Yeah.
Let me check because I made the grades, but I want to say I was a little higher on the Lions than the rest of us were.
I watched a draft stream. I knew they weren't number one. Yo, it seems like so many people went back and like binge watched our 3 days, like, which is hilarious. So make sure next year, man, y'all jump on the train.
I was the only one who gave the Lions higher than a B. I gave them an A- because for me, right, Tyleik Williams, the biggest positions of need for the Lions, in my opinion, were along the defensive line. More so edge rusher, absolutely, than defensive tackle. But I like the Tyleik Williams pick. I mean, solidifying the interior, right? That's going to be very important as they move forward, and hopefully you'll pick up another edge next year. They added 𝗕𝙤𝙘𝘀𝗀 from Boise State, in the 6th round. I think that personally, I really did like that pick. I think that he is someone who he's newer to football, but he was so productive. He's a high character guy from Boise State in the 6th round. I thought he'd go earlier than that. I think that he could develop into at least a rotational contributor even as soon as this year, right?
Yeah.
So for me, I think the Lions had a pretty solid draft. 𝙤𝙘𝘀𝗀𝗏, great. I think that's great value in the 3rd, especially, and that fit in that offense. I mean, he's going to be a burner from the slot, a very different slot receiver than Amon-Ra St. Brown, who's currently on the roster, right?
Yeah.
And then Miles Frazier and Dan Jackson. I mean, Miles Frazier, he seemed to be one of the better offensive linemen from LSU when they had like 3 or 4 guys enter the draft here. And, we talk about Dan Jackson a handful of times. We interviewed him at the Senior Bowl. Sora did specifically. And I think in the 7th round, that was a solid pick. He's going to be able to go in there in certain situations, and he's going to be able to watch and develop, grow in coverage, where we know that he loves to tackle. He loves to make plays and be active in run support. Seeing him grow a little bit in the secondary will be good for him. But personally, I really did like this class. Between Tyleik Williams, Tate Ratledge, and 𝗕𝙤𝘀𝗀𝗏𝘀, I think that is a very good first 3 picks of the draft. When you compare them with a lot of other teams, you'll see a handful that are better, but I think you'll find that most of them aren't as good as Detroit's first 3 picks.
Yeah, I got a lot of love for Detroit, man. I mean, I think they did the right thing in this draft, obviously. And, outside of not getting that premier edge, like, people know how we feel about 𝗕𝙤𝘀𝗀𝗏𝘀 and Miles Frazier. Excuse me. Was really good value for, a couple of those LSU offensive linemen that were beasts went really, really late, and it was really good value. Ahmad Hassanian, from Boise State, was really good value, and then knocking it out the park with Dan Jackson and Dominic Lovett. Man, if this draft went from, if you were looking at this list from bottom to top, you'd be like, damn, cooking. And then you get to Tyleik Williams and you're like, I like it. You should have just chosen edge there. And I think that's the reason why we dropped them to a B, right? Is, maybe 𝗕𝙤𝘀𝗀𝗏𝘀 went a little early. He's really like our 4th rounder. Even though we love him.
Right.
we love him, but with the of course with the value that was there, was Isaac Tesla really the pick? Apparently, the Lions front office, a lot of them said that this was their favorite receiver in the draft. So said something that he got drafted and not Andrew Armstrong though.
Well, to me, I think yeah, I was surprised. I was just surprised in general that Armstrong didn't get drafted.
Didn't even get picked up. Yeah.
For 𝗕𝘂𝘀𝗶𝗲, right? The yards per catch of 19.5 this past season, right? That's incredible. The size and speed he brings out of the slot, but he has reliability with that size and speed, unlike a certain Raiders draft pick and Dont'e Thornton. He has the hands that a lot of guys with his intangibles don't have.
Mm-hmm.
Like, he was probably, just like Ratledge, right? Consensus said he should have gone a little later. Yeah. Personally, I like the pick. You fill a need, you get a good player who have a good grade on. I like it. So,
yeah. Well, Zach Holton says, I'm a diehard Lions fan, born and raised in Michigan. That's what's up, man. I love to see that. We should have gotten an edge, but Brad Holmes didn't seem edge was a need compared to the O-line and interior D-line. Sometimes you win and you lose, man. And 𝗕𝘂𝘀𝗶𝗲𝗀𝗀 Williams was my second defensive tackle. So by my value, Dante's value says that was a pretty good pick. Brad seems like he still doesn't believe in Davenport, who has been injured the past 4 seasons. Yeah. Zach said believing in Davenport is the first mistake. Been there, done that as a Saints fan. Space B said, wait, you like Tesla in the early third? I mean, it's overvaluing him by a little bit, but people don't know, man. Isaac Tesla's one of them ones. I just think I want to see it consistently.
Yeah.
He's going to be a Z for them, for sure. He's a bit X or Z for them. Yeah. I don't think Amon-Ra St. Brown's going to play the slot. So, well,
yep.
No, the X is going to be 𝗕𝘂𝘀𝗀𝗀𝗀. What am I talking about? But he could be a Z. We'll see.
Him and Jameson Williams opposite each other, my goodness. That's a fast duo.
Yeah. Was surprised Tesla went early, but was happy for him. I was critical of it on draft day, but they did fill the needs. Yeah, exactly. Big believer. It's always good to sleep on it that night and then come back and really think about what you got, because you guys could be Jaguars, right? Big believer. If it's your guy, go grab him. We'll be interested in what they will do with 𝗕𝘂𝘀𝗀𝗀𝗀. I know they just signed a 5th year, but saw rumors of him being traded before that. Yeah, there was strong rumors of that, but let's be honest. Jameson Williams shot himself in the foot in his first couple of years. He was not doing well. And the bus conversation was coming fast and furious. And last year he breaks out. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Space B said, I heard that Thornton disrespect. It's not disrespect, it's his facts.
Yeah, I mean,
the boy got no hands.
They're two players who their selling point is their ability to stretch a field and their straight line speed as well as their size. And just being for real, man, Thornton doesn't have the same hands as Tesla does.
Yep. Oh no, Tesla could. If you gave Jack Beck his frame and speed, that would be Isaac Tesla. It's just we haven't seen Isaac Tesla like that a lot. So